car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to show you and get you caught up to my 2020 Shelby GT500 Transkit build here. This is from Fugu Garage, and if you've been following my channel a while, I started this a little while ago, almost about last year, when I put the whole resin front end on the body here. This is the Tamiya Mustang GT4 kit that this is designed for. And so I got all that done, and in primer, of course. And then I sprayed it with the Scale Finishes paint. And the last time you've seen this, I was masking and doing a couple of things, and I had a chunk of paint come off the quarter panel right here. If you remember seeing me do my video on how to fix and patch that. So I had done that video and got all the paint work done there. And then since then, I'm like, all right, it's pretty much ready for all the decals. Now, I had a set of black stripe decals from one of the Revell Mustang kits, and I was all ready to put them on. Matter of fact, they went on pretty good in some of these areas, and got it on the roof and some of it, but I started to find out, for whatever reason, and I think the decals just got old and dry and brittle, when I was trying to get them to fold, they were cracking, especially here in the front where this multi-step was. And I was having an issue there, and they were just cracking and splitting. And at that point, I just gave up on the decals and said, you know what? I can paint these stripes on. Now, I've done videos on painting stripes, and this one was pretty easy to do. The side stripes were a little difficult only because of the contours of the body. So I had masked and painted the black here, and then, you know, on both sides, and then got these areas all done. So they were ready. But then, since I had an issue going on this, I had masked the top stripes and did all of those in black as well. And since then, I put the Cobra decals on it, the Snake Cobra decals, and it was pretty much ready for clear. Now, I was working on this, and I was also working on my 96 Corvette Grand Sport, which I was having decal issues with that one as well. And I did document and show you guys that one. So while I was having both of them fight me and just be issues with that, I went ahead and I masked this one off and sprayed it, got it all ready. And then same thing with that one, worked on that one. And once they both were pretty much ready for clear, I had set some time aside and I clear coated it. So now this thing is cleared and shot. The door handles are cleared. The chassis is not cleared. I painted this the same green on it, the lime green. And while this is nowhere near an accurate chassis for the stock car, this is the race car chassis, and it's very apparent back here and in some of the other stuff. So I am not concerned with making this accurate at all, just mainly that it looks good curbside with the interior and everything, as there's no motor in this kit anyway, but getting it all ready and curbside. So after doing all of that, now it's time to start blacking out some of the trim here. So I'll end up blacking this out, the grills here, and then a lot of this trim, which is semi-gloss black. But I'll start by doing the whole inside first. And that's just simple brush painting, and same thing, getting all of the headliner and all of this done. So I'll get going on that, and I'll do some update videos on that as well. So I'll get started on that. And then the wheels have been primered, but I did take some time and order some more Scale Motorsports carbon fiber. So I got a couple of sheets here. This one is their high def weave quad color carbon fiber in 1/24 scale. So I ordered some of that, and I also ordered the Till Weave carbon fiber black pewter. So got both of these to try, but I'm gonna go with this one, but I'll end up putting it on the wheels and the rear wing, which the rear wing I still have to spray semi-gloss black, and all of these parts here need to be sprayed semi-gloss black. But the only thing that actually is carbon fiber is the wing and the wheels. And I don't believe this tail panel is carbon fiber, but I'll double check that there. And we got to get some of this stuff glued and ready to go. And I've shot a lot of the interior stuff with the semi-gloss black as well. So I've got some stuff to do. And then the mirrors were, I've seen carbon fiber mirrors and I've seen all black mirrors. I believe this comes all black, and the carbon fiber ones are accessory ones, but I'm not really sure yet. I've got to, do some more research, or, get to see one of these up close and personal. Seen a couple at a car show recently, and took some photos of that. So I had a really good time at a car show, and there was a couple of these there, but they were so different from each other. They were so similar, but so different. But I didn't really know what was personalized and what wasn't. So that's what's going on there. And then I'll start getting a carbon fiber on these wheels, which not really sure how I'm going to do that. And maybe I'll sit down and film it. May get a little boring that way, but I'll sit down and film it. But so I'm going to pause this a little bit, get moving on some of these parts and get them painted and get a little update going for you guys. So rather than have you sit there and watch me brush paint the whole inside, I'll just get that done. So see you soon. Okay, so I spent a little bit of time blacking out the entire inside of this, just getting it all taken care of, because there's a lot of this that you can see, and then once you button that up, you can kind of see in there, but you'll have the engine and some of the stuff in there. But I just wanted to black out some of this stuff. But when I start gluing some of the stuff in place, it's going to fill in some of the gaps, like this rocker here. It'll fill in the gap there. But these parts all need to be painted black, and I'll start working on them. But working on this first. But now I'm going to start detail painting these grills, the semi-gloss black, and this whole front chin spoiler, and the areas that I need to do on that. And that's really all I have left as far as the body goes. So I'm working on that next, and then we'll get that done on this video. And then I'll start working on the rest of these body parts and making sure they fit, because some of this stuff is a tight fit, and I need to do some trimming to get it all in there. But so this is going to need a little bit of trimming and make sure everything fits. As it did fit once before, but now that I got all the paint on there, it doesn't quite fit. But some of it you just got to shave a little bit here and there just to get them to fit. And that's some of the risk of using this automotive clear, is it's a little thicker, much more durable, much more shiny, but that's an issue. So we'll get this going, and I'm using my really fine brush here so that I can get in these areas. And we'll start with the grill here, but I'll start at the top. And for me, it's a little hard to see because I'm trying to do this for you guys on camera. So it's making it a little hard for me to see what I'm doing. This will take multiple coats too. Okay, well, I got all that brush painted and detail painted. I'm gonna let it dry. It'll satin up a little bit, but I'm liking how it looks. And I'll clean up the edges a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that, where I got a little bit on the side here, but it's clear coat. This real automotive clear. It's very forgiving on some of this stuff. So I'll show you real quick cleaning that up and cleaning some of this other stuff up. So I'm gonna let this one dry, and we'll work on it a little bit more a little later, and I'll finish this up. So liking the way it's looking right now, and you can see it's already starting to dry and give me that satin look. So, all right, well, let's give this a break and continue on. Okay, well, here we are on the next day, and I let the semi-gloss really dry, and I like the way it really turned out, especially on those Shelby lettering right there on the spoiler there. And you can see the difference in the sheen between the gloss and the semi-gloss, and especially in the grill there where the gloss and the semi-gloss is. And I like the way that turns out. But as I brought up, there's a couple areas where I got paint on the clearance spots. Now, some of the things I really like about using the real automotive clear that I use is it makes fixing those areas really nice and easy. So when I get something like that, a Q-tip, pretty much will just wipe it away. So there we go. Any boogers like that where I got it on the paint and I let it clear off. And another thing, when I get some of these rough edges where it's not quite as nice, I could take a toothpick and pull it away here like this and get a really nice edge. You see that? Hopefully I had the camera right in the right spot. And then I can always go back and touch up too, but it pulled it right off there. So I got a really nice clean edge. So it's kind of one of the little tricks that I do when I need to. And you can see a little bit like right here. I can kind of just pull it right off of the clear and get it right up against there, get a nice clean line. And this clear is very durable as far as scratches go and everything. You can scratch it and polish it out, but it's pretty durable. So that's some of the benefits and why I like to use it. And I found using it, even though it can be kind of costly and expensive to buy, but that's some of the things that I really get away with it. So there you go. Get a nice clean edge on some of that stuff. So it's really good about some of that. So when you wonder about some of my sloppy brushwork, and then you wonder how it looks so clean when I'm finally done with it, that's one of the reasons and one of the tricks that you don't necessarily see, but I'm able to do. And it's because of the products you use and how you use them. And I used to just leave some of that stuff alone and not let it bother me. And then like this one, I think is a little too high, so I'll go back and touch it back up. But, well, maybe not. We'll see how I leave it. But, little compromises here and there, as you can see how it comes out. Trick is you just get used to doing it a certain way and taking your time, and you just get a little bit better at it. So when it comes to that, it's like, yeah, mask with silly putty, mask with this or that, but getting it nice and cleaned up and a nice straight line isn't always exactly the way you think it is. I got some right here too. Let's see. There we go. But cleaning it all up. So there's some of the tips and tricks that I do right there, and get the rest done. And I got to paint around the window frames here on the two front sides. Those need to be done, and I got to paint some more of the rest of the trim. But the front's all done, and I'm extremely pleased with how it came out. Some of the areas where it comes through, I'll end up touching up there. Just, you know, handling. There are parts where I'll end up doing it as well, but I can touch that up also. Many of you guys know when you're doing this kind of stuff, there's always constant touch-ups until you're at the final stages and you're touching up some of these areas for the last time. So that'll finish this one up as far as what I'm doing today on this, and I'll continue working on it, start working on the interior and some of the parts that go on it. And I mentioned clearancing and making sure some of those parts now fit, because some of them are tight fitting now because of the thickness of the clear coat and all of that. But as long as I address that and work on that now, that's the best time to do it, even though it's after clear. You try and make sure it's all clearance before clear, but it does happen. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really appreciate it. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.